Once upon a time, you didn't ride a motorcycle. You rode a Harley. It wasn't just a machine. It was a symbol of freedom, of rebellion, of America at full throttle. From battlefields to back roads, from outlaws to office workers dreaming of the open highway. Harley-Davidson was the heartbeat of a generation. But now in 2025, the roads are quieter, the chrome is fading, and the question no one thought would be asked is being whispered in biker bars and boardrooms alike. Is Harley defeated? The legacy that shaped a nation. Let's not rewrite history, let's honor it. Harley-Davidson was born in 1903 in a shed behind a house in Milwaukee. 4 young men chasing speed and steel in the heart of the American industrial age. By World War I, they were supplying bikes to the US military. By the 50s and 60s, they weren't just building motorcycles, they were building a lifestyle. Black leather, greased hair, the roar of V-twins and the scent of gasoline in the morning. Harley didn't sell products, they sold a myth. They built an empire of emotion. But every empire ages. By the 2000s, Harley was booming. Boomers were retiring, cashing out, and buying the dream. Harley was on top of the world, selling nostalgia in every showroom and soundbite. But then, the world started changing. New riders wanted performance, not pipes. Technology, not torque curves. They wanted something lighter, smarter, faster. Harley was caught asleep in its own history. While Indian, Triumph, Ducati, and the Japanese brands innovated, Harley clung to the past. And then came the reality check. Sales began to fall. The average buyer age passed 50. Dealerships shrank, and younger riders, they weren't interested. To them, Harley was something their dad dreamed of, not something they wanted to ride. Too little, too late. In response, Harley tried to evolve. The LiveWire, their bold electric experiment. The Pan America, their leap into ADV territory. The Sportster S and Nightster, modern, muscular, and tech-savvy. The bikes were impressive. The engineering, brilliant. The design, a fusion of past and present. But the market didn't move with them. Critics said, "Why would I buy a Harley ADV when BMW has perfected it for decades? Why get an electric Harley when Zero and Energica are ahead of the game?" And their loyalists, the grizzled riders who bled orange and black, felt abandoned. To the old school, Harley went too far. To the new school, Harley didn't go far enough. They were stuck in the worst place for any brand. No man's land. The culture collapsed. But Harley's biggest challenge wasn't just sales, it was cultural relevance. The rebellion that once defined them, now it's just marketing. The outlaws became weekend warriors. The tattoos became collectibles. And as the world digitized, as Gen Z and millennials reshaped the market, Harley's message got lost. The new generation doesn't want tribal loyalty. They want freedom of choice. They want agile bikes, social proof, and connected tech. They want bikes that fit their cities, their incomes, their lifestyle. And Harley? Still selling 800-pound cruisers with $30,000 price tags. But is it over? Here's the twist. Harley is not dead, because legends don't die. They adapt, or they disappear. And Harley's trying, harder than ever. Behind the scenes, they're investing in global markets, targeting riders in Asia, Europe, and South America. They're modernizing their factories, their technology, their brand language. And here's something nobody's talking about. Harley is learning. They're experimenting with smaller displacements, modular platforms, and EV bikes under the LiveWire brand that now operate independently. They're not trying to be your granddad's Harley anymore. They're trying to be yours. But will riders listen? Will the next generation give them a shot? The road ahead is brutal. Let's be honest, the road ahead is steep. The market is flooded with fierce competition. The culture is moving faster than the chrome can keep up. And Harley's fighting its biggest battle not with engines, but with identity. Can they be modern and still be Harley? Can they attract a 25-year-old influencer without losing the 60-year-old war veteran who's ridden cross-country 5 times? Can they survive in a world where bikes aren't just machines? Their content, the final verdict? So, is Harley defeated? Not yet. But the fight has never been harder. If they win this war, it won't be with nostalgia. It'll be with innovation, humility, and raw soul. They must rediscover what Harley really meant. Not just loud pipes and long roads, but individuality, authenticity, and that fearless attitude that built a legacy 120 years strong. Because if they lose that, it won't be the world that defeats them. It'll be Harley defeating itself. For those who still believe in gasoline and grit, for those who don't just ride, they live to ride. This is Acer Rider. And this was Is Harley Defeated? Subscribe for more stories like this. Raw, unfiltered, real. Because legends aren't made in showrooms. They're made on the road.